Once upon a time, when I was full-time streaming on Twitch, people would come to my chat and ask, how do you start a stream career? And I would always give the same answer. I'd say you gotta stream. Stream, stream, stream. Keep a consistent schedule and keep on streaming. And you know what? That was terrible advice. Looking back now, I realize huge errors in that. And in this video, we're gonna talk about why that's bad advice, why Twitch is problematic right now for new content creators, and how to actually grow a stream in 2022. Let's get to it. First up, a little backstory on me. I was a full-time streamer from 2015 to 2020. I recently pulled back my whole schedule in 2021. I grew my channel to over 130,000 followers. I also helped grow the Planet Destiny channel to over 100,000 followers before I jumped ship off of Planet Destiny. And if you want more information about that story and the pitfalls that I went through, you can check out my previous video. Also, if you're a content creator and want to share some crispy tips, drop them below. I think that would be amazing for people to go through the comments and see additional tips about streaming. So why is Twitch bad for growth if you are a new streamer? There is several factors. There's a lot of factors, but there's several key factors that I'm going to dive into in this video to give you perspective so you can be armed with knowledge, what to expect from the platform of Twitch. First up, the website design itself. And longtime Twitch viewers are going to have a problem with what I say about this because it's how Twitch is set up. It's like the site is the site. And so if I say it's wrong, you're gonna say, you're wrong, Teft. Just bear with me on my explanations on this stuff. So the website design is funneled in a way to promote the most viewed streamer. So if you go into Twitch and you don't know who to watch, you pick a game, right? So you go into the game directories, and the game directories are sorted by most viewed game at that any given moment. So you find a game you want to watch, you click on it, and what do you see? You see the top streamers on there. So the top, say 8 streams typically get the bulk of new traffic coming in that are searching for a particular game. You know, if you want to go look at League of Legends or Destiny 2 or something like that, you are going to see the top streamers first. You can definitely change this to sort between differences, but the way Twitch itself promotes this and the culture that is created from the website is it shows the top most viewed games and the top most viewed streamers, which in return makes new streamer discovery extremely poor. Now, before Twitch kind of exploded from the Fortnite era and all that, you could technically still grow in some lower viewed games. And honestly, that might be possible to this day. It's going to be a very slow process because the odds are built against new content creators when it comes to the Twitch platform itself. Secondly, for reasons that Twitch is bad for growth, is there is a very limited discovery algorithm. It basically goes like this. If you liked channel A, then you might like channel B because other people have watched channel A that also like B. There is clips and there is the off chance that you might get a homepage feature if you happen to be partnered, which is a whole bunch of steps down the road from the point of starting a brand new stream. But in terms of an actual algorithm that is going to connect viewers with new content creators and all that, Twitch, from my knowledge, from my point of view, as a partnered streamer for over 6 years, it's extremely poor and I would not rely on it. Now, that's not to say that that could change in the future because it obviously could. And Twitch staff or Twitch executives are painfully aware of this. At least I'm assuming they're aware that the best way to grow on their platform is to literally be on another platform that's successful. And we'll get more into that later. Third major pillar as to why Twitch is poor for growth is communities on Twitch tend to be tribal. Now, what do I mean by that? Is a typical viewer finds their home stream, okay? It's people who they connect with, they know the people in chat, they feel very connected to the streamer. So there's like the home channel that they consistently hang out in. And then there's usually a few other channels that they hang out in that are kind of like satellite oriented, like in a larger community that they like to interact with, and other people that they know kind of dip in and out of those streams as well. So there's this connected fabric right there, and it creates a community, which is really good. Obviously, it makes people want to come back and join in the community. But the flip side of it is it makes it very difficult for people to venture out and discover new streams. And that's partially because time is limited, obviously, and stream consumption, obviously very different from YouTube video consumption. You know, you could watch like 10 YouTube videos in a day easily, whereas streams, you might just watch 1 or 2 if you have the time to chill and relax or put a stream up while you're working or something like that. So communities tend to be tribal on Twitch. You pick your home, you know, your home base, that's your favorite streamer. And then you have a few other satellite streamers. And then the times that you do venture out to other streams that you've never been to before is either through raids or through a new game comes out and you want to see what's going on. And even then you usually go to the directory and say, oh, who's streaming? I'll pick number 5, the 5 most viewed stream in that channel. And that's a way that you might discover a new stream, which all leads back to the fact that if you start a brand new channel on Twitch, you are just, the odds are completely stacked against you for any natural organic growth directly on Twitch itself. Those are the 3 major reasons right there. There is a 4th one that I'd like to highlight that I'm going to come back to and talk about. It's evergreen content. And what is evergreen content? Evergreen content is when you make a piece of content that is going to be relevant for a significant amount of time. Let's say there is a particular part in an old game, let's say Dark Souls 1, okay? And you want to understand how to go get a piece of gear or something like that, or understand how to beat a boss a certain way. A tutorial or guide on Dark Souls specifically for that thing that you're looking for can technically be evergreen content because it doesn't go out of style, or the information doesn't go bad technically, because that game is what it is and it's not being maintained on a live service or something like that. If you make evergreen content in that sense, or like how to unplug a toilet or a shower drain or something like that, these are examples of evergreen content that technically have a long shelf life. People load up Dark Souls and say, how do I go get this particular sword out of this one thing, blah, 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 blah. Then that's evergreen content, it pops up. So what I'm trying to say is Twitch does not have evergreen content for content creators to continually have growth coming from. Streams on Twitch basically last a day, and then you have a short little tail of people that might tune into your stream a few days later, but it's not like you're getting thousands or hundreds of thousands of views from it. Or to put it another way, it's not like 2 years later people are going to come to your Twitch channel and look through your backlog and then start watching all your videos. Some dedicated fans absolutely could, but you're not going to have a brand new user that's never heard of your stream before, or you as a streamer, go and then suddenly spelunk through your back catalog. So now we've discovered the problems with Twitch and why growth as a new content creator is very difficult, organic growth specifically on Twitch. What is the best way that you can actually grow a stream? Unfortunately, it's the hard way. You have to actually get a following on another platform to consistently grow a Twitch stream. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all those places, there is algorithms that they have, some better than others, that will help new people discover your content, which you can then form a bond that will then inspire them to check out your stream. Also, side note, isn't it weird that Twitch is essentially requiring people to bring them traffic to grow something? I think it's a little strange. So what I recommend is building a content strategy. Evergreen content is very important in this strategy. You need to be able to create content that is hopefully going to get viewed and searched for several years at a time. So when Destiny 1 first came out, I started doing weapon reviews, and that started growing my YouTube channel because people were interested in Destiny content and they were interested in the discussion about the mechanics around the game and all that. So this was one technique that was technically building evergreen content, at least for the time, evergreen content for my YouTube channel, which would then subsequently produce interest in my streams down the road. So your content strategy needs to include evergreen content to some capacity. You don't need all of your content to be evergreen content because that is really difficult. So for instance, things that are not evergreen content is news. If some new information drops about a game, that is hot for a few days, maybe a couple weeks at most, but then it's done. People aren't going to be searching about that new information anymore. So your evergreen content kind of has to be thought of in a way of what would people be interested in checking out long term. And it can be entertainment as well. If you create highly entertaining videos that are, you know, say like a 10-minute Minecraft extravaganza, that technically could be evergreen content as long as it is actually good. So the entertainment angle is probably going to be the most difficult because it's tough to know exactly what is going to be entertaining for people while you're producing that content. And it takes a long time to really figure that out and to know how it ticks. You know, like Mr. Beast is a great example of someone who really took the time to just keep on pumping out videos and understanding what makes entertainment happen in a video. And now he's obviously a grand master at being able to do something like that. Which little sub tip right here is don't expect this to happen overnight. it obviously takes years to build these careers, and you're gonna have to go through the journey. Some people that suddenly get popular on Twitch, it's usually because they had some other thing that they've been practicing or getting good at or making content about suddenly propelled them into a higher status on Twitch. For instance, if you are a god at Halo and there's a new Halo Infinite tournament or something like that, and you become, you are the best player, and then you also parlay that into content about being that player and what it was like to do the tournament, all that, you can suddenly launch a career if you didn't already have a career that was there. Like in Destiny, becoming world's first in Destiny raid technically is a massive boost to everyone in the community about your content. So there's the prestige about that, but there's also the massive rush of people that would be exposed to your content and be interested in coming back and saying hey and seeing what's up as a streamer. So content strategy. You have to think about this stuff and what you like to do, because if you're gonna do this for years, then you better enjoy it. You know, so make sure when you're doing a content strategy, you enjoy the type of stuff that you're doing. For me, when I was doing Planet Destiny, I initially enjoyed making weapon reviews, and then as soon as it became, or what felt like a job, I realized, oh, I don't think I actually like making weapon reviews. So make sure you like the content that you're making, obviously, when you're doing a content strategy. But at the same time, I don't mean to scare you off and be like, oh, you gotta make sure you know exactly what you're doing. No, you definitely want to experiment. You want to see what works for you and also what works for putting out content, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, or Twitter, or all of them, which is madness. But if you can, obviously the more of a net spread you can do, obviously you'll grow your brand better. Doing collaborations as well, I didn't mention that, collabs with other content creators. And don't try to be like, oh, I need to collab with someone who's got 10 million subs or something like that. Collab with people at your level. Like if you're just starting out, look for other people just starting out as well and collab with them. And as you all grow, you'll notice that these communities start forming and start rising together. Another quick example before I move on from content creation schedule and planning, you could do playthroughs of a particular game, like say Borderlands. Stream your playthrough and then make highly edited YouTube videos of the playthrough. This obviously requires a lot of time, and that's another aspect of this. There's no way of getting around this unless you hire an editor, which is going to cost you money. You are going to spend a lot of time editing and making the content. In fact, you end up spending more time on the content than you do actually playing the games. Keep that in mind. But you can create a scenario where you are actually playing through the games and then going through and doing highly edited videos of them to create this content schedule that I'm talking about. You will not be able to upload straight up VODs directly from Twitch to YouTube and expect that to work. YouTube is a highly curated platform. So if you do not put effort into the content, YouTube picks up from that by the way of people viewing the content. So it knows to say, this video isn't really that great. Maybe that's the wrong way of saying it. Not that it's not great, but that it's not sticky. YouTube picks up on watch time, interaction, like where they clicked off on the video, what other content they've looked at, to understand what type of content is going to be valuable to other people. And this is where the algorithm kicks in and is working for YouTube versus there basically being no algorithm really for Twitch. Side tangent, sorry. But that's basically why Twitch VODs, like long form 3-4 hour Twitch VODs, don't work on YouTube. If you already have a built-in ravenous fan base, yeah, you'll get views, obviously, but it's not going to build a stream career, just being honest. So with the content creation scheduling, you need to keep in mind what you're actually building, and it's relationships. Every time you post a piece of content that someone identifies with or feels value from, you are creating this conversation with people. It creates this connection for them being interested in what else you got going on with the stream. If they like your type of content, then they're probably gonna like chilling in a stream to just see what's up and hang out. Because a lot of times that's just what streaming is, hanging out. In terms of viewership, there's a few levels to think of when it comes to building these relationships. Because you have like the casual viewer, and that's usually someone who may have stopped in for the very first time, They're seeing what's up. This could be on videos or it could be on a Twitch stream. Basically, they're just window shopping. They're saying, huh, do I like this place or not? Is this somewhere I'm gonna come back? And a lot of them are not gonna come back. They're just gonna be passing by and be like, cool, see you later. And then you have like the familiar face type of thing where they stop into your streams once in a while, be like, oh yeah, I recognize that person. They say what's up and they talk a bit. And then you got like regulars and they show up to most of your streams or maybe 50% of your streams and they talk and chat and they know other people in chat and all that. Then you got like hardcore dedicated viewers that try to make it to almost every stream you do. And they're most likely to sub as well. At any given point, any person can be on that spectrum of viewership. Everybody starts out as a casual that they don't know who you are. They can go up to dedicated fan. And then over time, it's very natural for them to fall off as well because people have lives. Another reason why evergreen content and making content on other platforms is so important for the health of a stream is because of this curve of viewership of people starting out as casual, going up to possibly a dedicated fan, and then dropping off over time because marriage and life and they have kids or move across the world, something like that, join the military, you know. So many reasons that people come in and out of streams. And that's not something that you can control ever. And you shouldn't beat yourself up over it, over that type of stuff as well. Like, that's just life and that happens. What you should do is focus on a content schedule that's going to help bring in new people and then send them to your stream if that's your ultimate end goal. In other words, these conversations and relationships build powerful connections, and that's what makes a healthy stream that's popping. Let me give some personal experience in this department right here. When I was averaging over 1,500 subs on Twitch, those were people who were actually supporting me financially. I would recognize 90% of those usernames and have some sort of story connection with them because that's how the stream was built, through personal relationships, connections, and all that. Now, I'm not saying I was a friend to every single one of those people. That's impossible, obviously. But the relationships that happen, or the conversations that happen in the stream and through the other content that's made and then happens on Twitch and all that, creates powerful connections where you, the streamer, will definitely remember a majority of the stuff. You remember usernames, you remember conversations, you remember stories that happen between these people. And obviously you can get blurred because you have a ton of information going by. And in other words, if you're thinking that you're gonna go get 1,000 subs and not know anything about those people whatsoever, then I'm sorry, but you're completely wrong about that. That's not how Twitch streaming works. You will be in people's lives. You can still be private, obviously, but you are going to be having conversations with people and you are going to know a lot of people from these conversations. And I'd say a good 90% of the time, these conversations will have already been started on another platform, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, etc., etc. Now, if you do happen to be lucky enough to make a stream that constantly gets like 3,000 to 4,000 concurrent viewers at any given time, then obviously this changes. You know, you have like 5,000 subs. The chat relationships and dynamics become a lot more complex and difficult to handle because there's just more people and it's like a snowballing effect. And if you are in that position, congratulations. And also, this video is not for you. You've already done it, right? I just want to be as transparent as possible on this stuff as to how you build up to something like that. And also just make it very obvious that you don't just suddenly have 1,000 people subbing to you and have no idea or no connection with them. Like, you are deeply connected with these people that are supporting your content. I don't feel like I hear people talk about that, but then again, I don't watch a ton of videos specifically on how to stream. So anyways, one thing that I definitely want to highlight when it comes to a content schedule is you need to build in time off and build in a burnout avoidance mechanism. In other words, treat your weekend sacred, or make sure you give yourself enough time off and don't stretch it to the point that you're going to quit or break yourself or mentally or physically have issues. This is basically stuff that I was talking about in my previous video, and I definitely experienced some extreme burnout and both mental and physical problems that surfaced from just too much constant focus. Do not think that you're going 7 days a week forever, because you will burn out and then the work that you've done for building something will suffer from it. So think now before you start of how you need to build in time off to combat burnout on there. In addition to avoiding burnout, I would also keep consistent smaller streams. I would say 3 to 4 days a week and a max of 4-hour streams. I really don't think you need to do anything more than that because you should be focusing on curating more content for other platforms to get people interested in your stream. And if people are watching your videos and watching your content on other platforms, they will definitely be interested in showing up for a few hours during your streams. Personally, I think 8-hour or longer streams are not worth it in today's day and age for growing streams. Some other things I want to talk about before I wrap up this video is Twitch itself and the affiliate thing. I don't really think people should go for affiliate status. Now, before you get mad at me for saying that, the reason why I say it is if you sign affiliate as of right now at the end of 2021, you are then technically not allowed to stream on Facebook and YouTube or any other platform. Twitch is weird, all right? They've got some archaic system where it's like exclusivity. Like for me as a partner, I'm technically not allowed to stream on YouTube. Not even like stream on YouTube and then afterwards stream on Twitch or something like that. You can't do any of that. You're supposed to only exclusively stream on Twitch. And I think that is a lame contract. Are they afraid? What's the deal? Like, why are they forcing people to say that they can't stream on any other platform because they are, you know, it's like this old school, like music industry kind of type of feels sleazy. So I think for you guys who are looking to get into streaming, I would stream to all 3 platforms at the same time. I'd stream to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, see what grows on there, and ignore affiliate status. Because if you think you're gonna suddenly be like, oh, I'm paying for rent off of your affiliate subs, I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, it could. Don't get me wrong, it's totally possible that you could be doing that and you could be in that position right now. But I think the majority of people are going to get affiliate and then get a few subs, and then they're tied into having to stick to Twitch and not be able to stream on other platforms that could be growing and making better technology and algorithm type of stuff for you to grow as a content creator. So I think that's really weird, and it's a bit of a red flag in my opinion that Twitch has been that way for so long. Twitch is obviously like the main place right now when it comes to streaming for video games specifically. And this part of the video is going to be like theoretical or speculative, I should say. I don't think Twitch is going to be able to maintain that direction with YouTube specifically gunning for the streaming platform type of stuff. The reason why I say this is back in 2015, YouTube sucked. They basically favored people who uploaded daily, and they also favored people who already had large followings. They were basically Twitch's model, but for video uploads back in 2015. Over the few years, like 2-3 years later, they made more tweaks and tunings to the algorithm. Things started looking better. They started making the algorithm more aware of what was good content specifically, and favoring less of like shoveling content onto the website. Nowadays, YouTube, I think personally that the algorithm is actually really good at discovering what is legitimately good content that other people who have never seen your content would actually enjoy. Because there's a difference. If you have a built-in fan base or people who are already aware of your content, then the barrier of getting people interested to watch something obviously is significantly lower. But when you have a piece of content that may or may not be good for people who have never seen your content before, you need some sort of algorithm in there that can help push new content out there. I think YouTube has done an amazing job with that. Now, in 2021, 2022, you know, in 2015, it was terrible. And Twitch is essentially where that is right now, except they haven't really evolved or the platform hasn't evolved enough to be able to support a algorithm type of thing. In fact, people get really upset over the idea of content being recommended while a stream is happening. That does seem weird. Like if you're in the middle of a stream and it's recommending another stream at the same time, like that doesn't make any sense. So that's a problem. It's a problem for Twitch because while Twitch is the big dog right now, undisputably, give 5 years down the road for YouTube with them dumping millions and millions of dollars into R&D for doing a stream algorithm. They've already made big strides on their streaming side. And it's obviously very different from what Twitch is. Twitch is like a significantly better community setup right now. If you have a built-in community already, Twitch's platform really succeeds in that. YouTube is just getting started when it comes to the streaming side, and they are aware of these problems that Twitch is having when it comes to new user growth. They've basically been solving the question of when someone wants to view content about a particular subject, how do they get the best piece of content in front of that viewer? Not the most viewed content specifically, but the best piece of content for that viewer. So if someone searches how to get good at Dark Souls, the algorithm says, all right, what's the best video that's relevant to this user right now to try to get them connected? Like, that's their goal. So they're doing that with streaming as well. If I was brand new to streaming and Twitch is like, hey, you have to permanently stream here forever, otherwise your contract's broken. And then YouTube's over here making new technology to help people get discovered while they stream. I mean, like, you don't want to cut that off. For the record, I don't really know much about Facebook's algorithm. I do know that they have an absolute buttload of people on that website that they can easily just send people to streams because there's so much traffic on Facebook. Obviously, Facebook's Facebook, you know. I've heard that discovery is actually pretty good on Facebook. I have no personal experience with it, and I don't watch any streams on Facebook, so I can't say. So that's why I'm not really digging too much on that. I have watched a few streams on YouTube. The actual video delivery platform is really good. That's another place where Twitch has kind of been falling behind. But the community side of things is obviously better on Twitch. And that's right now at the end of 2021. And what I'm saying here towards the end of this video is I think that YouTube is going to look very different in the stream side of things 5 years down the road. So if you're thinking about starting a streaming career right now, you need to look at it within a few years perspective and think, well, is Twitch really going to be that good for content creators in the future? I mean, it's good for people who are successful already, obviously. Like, it's a rich gets richer type of situation over on Twitch right now. But YouTube does not want a rich gets richer situation. They want what's the best possible content for that particular viewer. Viewer wants content. Google wants to give that viewer the content that they want. And then Google gets money from ad revenue because people keep coming back to the sites and all that. Yeah, these are all things to consider. If you're gonna make content, you need to be aware of these platforms. You need to be aware of potential future changes and shifts and all that. And that's why I bring this up, because if I had stuck with YouTube back in 2015 and just muscled through it, this channel would be in a very different position than it is right now. But I didn't. I chose to just focus on Twitch. So hopefully this video has given you some food for thought on what to do for a streaming career and where to go in the future. Obviously, I'm not going to lay out exactly what type of content to make because, you know, that's up to you. You're the content creator. You need to be able to experiment and figure out what content you like making and then see how it fits into a streaming career as well. Hopefully you found some information that was useful. Let me know in the comments if you did. I'd also love to hear people's thoughts on content creation and streaming in general. So drop it below. We'd love to hear it. That's the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more content, please subscribe. I will be talking about more content creator related type of things. If you want to check out my music channel, you can do that. Links below. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Deuces.